I was born and raised all the way until I was 12 in Ponce, Puerto Rico. I started playing the game around, I was about 7 or 8. It was just the only thing that we had back then. There was a basketball court like a couple of streets away from my home. I had an older cousin that would always play, and he was pretty good. So I kind of started liking the game. And then from there, it just kind of grew on me. My father put me into playing like a competitive league, even though I was in, I guess, polish. But throughout that time, I started beginning to play, and I actually made their travel team. I was good enough to make it, and from there, it just kind of grew up on me. At 12, I moved from Puerto Rico to here in Palm Bay. I've been here over 30 years. When I first got here, my biggest challenge was I went to middle school because I got here in 8th grade, where first of all, I didn't know English. So that was my first challenge. I didn't know anybody. And when I went to try out for the team, I was going up against 200 kids. So I was like, how do I make a team going against 200 kids when last time I actually played, I only tried out maybe against 15 or 18 kids. So I made it through the first cut, made it through the second cut, I made it through the third cut. I made the team. It was about 16 kids. It was going to give me the opportunity to not only build relationships, but also start to get to know people, for people to know who I am. And it was great. So we started practicing, and I was the smallest player on the team. Even in practice, coach was not putting me in. I was sitting out on the sideline, and all it took is one opportunity. And I still remember that day like yesterday. There was a kid that missed practice, and because of that, coach put me to practice. Like, he put me to actually play, and that was the beginning. From there, that one day, I started playing even better, that I made it before our first game to the starting lineup. And I, as the smallest guy, I started, went all the way from number 16 to being on the top 5 in the team. And our first game of the season, I scored about 10 to 12 points, and that was the takeoff. The next day, everybody knew who I was. Everybody knew who I was. I don't think I've told that story to everybody. I think it's just one of those things that it's there, but I don't know, just never thought of it. But I started thinking about it actually the other day, and I was like, you know what? This is a story that, I don't think I share with people, of how important and why. This brings the passion, like opportunity arises, and I have to make the best out of it. After that, I played middle school all the way to my high school. And coming out of high school, I didn't have any offers. It was a little bit different for me to get, any college basketball offers. And through God's way, I was able to try out at a junior college. And from there, I earned a scholarship, and I was able to play for 2 years. That was the best blessing I could have. It's not about what I learned or playing, but it was the relationships, what I learned from there, because my growth from understanding the game, playing the game, I took it from being here to over the top. Basketball took me to knowing people, meeting people, relationships. Even to this day, I thank God to basketball because I met my wife through basketball, through a friend that I've known since I was 8 years old in Puerto Rico. Years later, when I was 21, I got to see him again, and we started hanging out. And then he had a friend that I met through him, and we've become like brothers. We've been like really good friends, like brothers for like 20-something years. One time I visited Puerto Rico, he was like next door neighbor to my wife, and I met my wife going through one of those trips. So every corner of my life, basketball has been the key factor of it. Creating time for business and basketball can be very challenging, especially when you got 4 kids. Putting what's important in front of you. Basketball obviously is not my life. I don't make a living out of basketball, but money isn't my only driver in life. My driver in life is my 4 kids and my wife. When it comes to sports or everything, obviously, that we do, discipline at home, discipline in studying, discipline in sports. And I don't do it because I want my kids to make it in the NBA, for example, in basketball. That's not my goal. it's more of a dream. And whether it happens or not, that's God's will. That's his path. But my real intent for this is I want my kids to see and understand and experience what basketball has brought to me. And I want that same feeling, but 10 times better for them. The opportunity for them in life to have really good relationships, to have, whenever they get married, they have really good marriages with their spouses. Overall, a better lifestyle. To understand how hard it is that for you to be able to make it in life at work. Like, not a handout, like you gotta work for everything you do. Right now I'm coaching my two oldest, and they play for me. And just because they play for me, they understand, Dad, I'm gonna start or I'm gonna get to play. No. You still have to put your time into it in order for you to get to that level. Now, if you earn it, it's earned because of your hard work, not because I'm your dad, because I'm not always gonna be here for you, unfortunately. And I want you to understand that anything you want to accomplish, you have to work hard at it, anything. And that's what I've done, not only in my career, but also in basketball.
First game today for our middle school season. Super excited. We've been working very hard the last 3.5 weeks. Defense on 3. 1, 2, 3. Hard ball.
Now, when we talk about my career, I've been in the mortgage industry since 2006. I first started as a banker, and I built my career through it. And then in 2012, I decided that I want to fully become a mortgage officer, loan officer, full-time, instead of just being a banker. And throughout this time, I had to go through some growing pains. I have to build relationships. And throughout that time, God has blessed me with the opportunity of being able to do that. And until today, I've been blessed to have a business that I can sustain my family, and I continue to do that. And I have a passion for my business. It's not just money. It's about the opportunity of meeting people and helping people with their financial needs of a mortgage, financial needs of a house. Because this business is not about just money. It's about building a legacy, building wealth for their family, that they can buy a house, in the future they can sell it, they can make money and buy another one. Or they can leave it behind on their kids. Or just give them stability. Owning a home gives you not only just the opportunity on a home, but also is the piece of your wealth and also stability, which we lack a lot of times within our youth. So that's my passion all the time. I've always put my clients before I put myself to it. Because at the end of the day, if I don't, and I'm selfish about it, and I just think about the money I can make for one person or being transactional, my business will not grow. I'm licensed in 2 states, actually, Florida and Georgia. I really haven't done anything in Georgia, but my main focus today is Brevard County, Indian River County, Orange County, which is the surroundings of where I live. Any realtors that are looking for partnerships, buyers looking to purchase a home in the state of Florida, whether they're here already living or coming from another state, I'll be more than happy if they contact me. I'll be more than happy and blessed to be able to help them with their mortgage needs. Investing into our youth is my call from God. That's the best way to really explain that. And when I say that is because it's not just about the passion of basketball. You know, when I coach the kids, I tell them, and every single time, it's not about just putting the ball through the hoop. It's about the relationships you make today that are going to be impactful for you later. For me, that investment in them, it helps them build character, it helps them build confidence, it helps them build their skill level, to give them an opportunity that hopefully they can do, you know, they can play pros, they can play college, they can play high school, whatever it is. That's the investment with my knowledge that I've learned. And I learn every day, and I tell them, listen, I'm not your perfect coach. I don't know it all, but I promise you that whatever I do learn, I'm gonna pass it on to you for your benefit. I invest a lot of time, and it's because the passion, I love it, I enjoy it. I enjoy being on the side. I enjoy, you know, teaching them. One of my first lines that I tell parents when I do my meeting with them is, you know, I'm not here for a college coaching job. I'm here for your child. I'm here to help, develop, and build. And when you put it into that perspective, I think people respect that, and they understand that you're not there for yourself, you're there for them. And that's all. That as long as you coach and teach and feel that way, everything else comes natural. My biggest win and investment on this is that 10 years from now, you know, your son sees me on the street and he comes and gives me a hug and says, hi, coach. To me, that's the win. That's what I want to see, because then that's the seed that I planted 10 years ago, that the respect, the love that he has, that I created on them. And that's my win right there. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for people to give me, you know, blessings or graces or attention. No. The only thing that I want is that relationship that 10 years from now, when they're in their 20s, they still see me as their coach when I was 12, 13, 14, whatever age that I was able to make that impact, and seeing that they have grown in their life, that I made an impact in their life to be better. That's my motivation. That's the love that I have for the game. So if I could go back today at 18 to 20 years old, I would be in the gym shooting 200 to 300 shots a day. I think God blessed me with a lot of ability, but being young, not having the direction I probably should have as far as like working harder, thinking that, you know, things will come to me no matter what, and not really getting after it, is what held me back from possibly playing at a better level of basketball, for example, getting an offer of a bigger scholarship. So honestly, that would be what I would go back and tell myself. If you want more, you got to work more for it. You got to want it more than others. And have I done that? I think the story would have been different. But I'm satisfied with the story today and where I'm at, because it has helped me understand and elevate and motivate myself more to push others to be able to get there. I've learned that you can overcome those mistakes and be able to get better and do better. And now that I'm older and wiser and still learning, and I will continue to learn, teaching that and empowering that to the youth today, it'll get them not only in basketball or whatever sport they choose, but also in life. So don't let mistakes you make hold you back, because without mistakes, there's no learning curve. We learn from mistakes, and that's something I teach my kids. That's something I teach my players, because a lot of times when we're on the court, they don't want to make a mistake because they don't want to come out of the game. They don't want to look stupid or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, well, if we're going to play with fear of making a mistake, then you're never going to learn, because we only learn through mistakes, unfortunately. A quote came to mind from Michael Jordan that I've always loved and that kept in the back of my mind is, you miss 100% of your shots that you do not take. That hits hard. When I first learned that, I was like, man, that's deep. That's deep. My wife and my family are my backbone. Without my wife, I honestly cannot tell you where I would be. She's always there to support not only our kids, to support others, to support me, whether I'm having a good day or a bad day. She's definitely the backbone of me. She's definitely who holds and sticks this family together through goods and bads. And I cannot be more blessed to have her. My 4 children, they're my motivation to work harder, to do better, to be better in my life. And I'm blessed, I've never thought about, never came into my mind that I would have a big family, and I love it. I love it. Different personalities, different ways of thinking, but at the end of the day, it's a blessing and opportunity to be able to see, everything. Even has taken upon herself to be able to, within our teams that we play in, she helps. She's always hustling to try to get, to make things easier for all of us in the team, for the moms, for the parents. I think creating that experience for kids and the parents to have something very organized and in a positive way. She's like in the back, behind the scenes. She's behind the scenes, always doing all of that work to help me do what I need to do to be able to teach and motivate these kids. But my wife is definitely the backbone of this family. The man is the leader in the house, but the woman is the one that holds it all together.